Hey guys, it's Summer. I've got another fun DIY trick for you guys to try at home. So I'm sure that you've seen all over the internet those really cool chunky knit blankets. They're actually hand knitted. They're super cool, super popular right now. They're also super expensive if you go online. I made some of these at Christmas time and gave them out as gifts, and they were a really big hit. I just wrapped it up with like a cool ornament and people loved them. I'm gonna show you guys how to make one of these for your space or to give as a gift. So it's really easy, it's minimal materials, so let's get started. Okay guys, so for our chunky knit blanket, we just need some very minimal materials. We are gonna need just some like standard scissors that you have, and also we're gonna need some skeins of yarn. So I have chosen this one by Barnat, and it's just like a thick, cozy, fleecy, really soft, plushy, thick yarn. I've seen some online that are like really thick. It's like really thick wool, and you can obviously choose whatever kind of yarn that you want for your space. I chose to go with this one since our channel is about being on a budget and doing things budget friendly. The really thick wool yarn can really get pretty pricey. This I got from Michael's and it was about $10 a skein. It's 32 yards in a skein, depending on the size of your blanket, how big that you want it. I'm choosing to do 5 of these, so it'll probably be like a medium to large size blanket. If you want like a baby blanket, you could do probably about 3 of these and that would be good. I will link this brand below, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So let's get started. Okay guys, so now I've got my skein of yarn here, my big ball of yarn, and so I'm gonna show you how we get this started. So basically you're gonna make a like little slip knot. So I'm just gonna take the yarn, and we want to leave a little bit of a tail, but we want to utilize the most out of this yarn, so we don't need to make it too long. I'm basically going to just wrap it around my hand, and then if you can see on the back side of my hand, I'm just going to kind of pull through so I have a little knot, and we're going to just tie it tight here like so. So now this will be my first little loop. I like to, especially this type of yarn, if you're using a thicker yarn, you're gonna wanna make sure that your loop is a little bit bigger. But for me, I'm gonna try to make all of my loops about the same size. So regardless of whatever size yarn you're using, you're gonna wanna make all of your loops consistent. So now for the next step, I'm gonna put this on the ground here so I have some more working space. I'm just gonna take this and make, going from my ball of yarn here, I'm gonna just put it through here, and now we're gonna make a second loop. So now I have 2 loops here, and we're just gonna keep going. And however big you want your blanket is how many loops you're gonna do. So this will be the width of our blanket. So I'm probably gonna make like 25 to 30 loops. So now I'm just gonna keep putting this through and make another loop. And keep going through and make another loop. And keep going through and make another loop. So you'll start to see that you have this like little braided looking thing going on here. So I'm gonna continue doing that and spare you guys some time. Okay, so now I have about 25 loops on here. So I have it spread across over there. But now that we're going to be working upward now, we're basically gonna just do the same thing. So I'm gonna make one more loop at the end here going down here. So this will be like basically the first loop of our new row. Now you see these, like where we just made these little loop, like these little curves here, like these little rainbow arcs, like this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3, this would be 4, and so on. We're gonna just take our yarn from our ball here and just pull it through and make another loop. So now I have 1, 2 loops. So pull it through, and now I have 3 loops. Go under my little arc here, and now I have 4 loops. It's okay too if you are working and you accidentally miss a loop. You will barely be able to notice if you make a mistake, so don't worry, you don't have to start all over if you make a mistake. It'll literally blend in with your blanket. So here I'm just gonna keep continuing on. Here's another little arc, go through it, and pull another loop. You obviously want to make sure you're pulling from your ball of yarn here. So I'm just going to continue on with that and save you guys some time. Okay, so again, now I am at my my end here where we started at. So I'm gonna just do the exact same thing that we just did. I'm gonna make another loop, kind of going down. Now you can see how it's starting to like have an edge here, just like how it has here. And so that's exactly what we want. So we're just gonna keep making our loops through. So now we're gonna just, so I made a loop here. I'm gonna go through my loop here. So now we're just going through our loops. The little arcs are now kind of our loops that we're going through. So it makes it a little bit easier to follow through. My ball is stuck under my tripod. And so I'm just gonna keep now going through all of these loops here. And I'll spare you the time, and let's go. Okay, so I went ahead and made all the loops get down to here, and now again I'm at my edge again. And so basically we're just gonna continue to do this. Every time you get to the edge of the end, you're still just making another loop. So now you're going down, and then we're gonna bring it back over and now go through all of the loops again. So you just continue doing this throughout your entire blanket. I will show you when we get to the end of the skein how we're gonna just tie it on, and we won't even be able to notice that that we tied it on because it's gonna blend in with the rest of our blanket. You can see I'm just literally pulling through the loops and making a new loop. And so pulling through the loops and make a new loop. Pull through the loop and make a new loop. Basically all knitting is just a series of loops, even when you knit with needles instead of your hand. And like I said, again, this can be any type of chunky yarn that you want. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue to keep looping through all of this. This can be kind of a time-consuming project, so have some fun with it. Turn on a good podcast, maybe a television show or something that you can listen to in the background, good music, and just kind of have some fun with it. It's a good way to kill some time, especially during your quarantine, and then you have a cozy blanket to cuddle up with on the couch. All right, so I'm gonna save some time and just go through this, and I will show you when we get to a place where we're gonna tie off. Okay, so now I am at a place where I've used one whole skein of yarn. You can kind of see how like the width of this is for one full skein. So now I've got another one. I'm just gonna take it apart. I'm gonna take off the packaging here. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna just tie on really easily and hide it, and you won't even be able to tell that we tied on, because the good thing is about doing this, since it's all a bunch of loops, it's kind of easy to hide any mistakes that you might make, or tying on. So basically we're literally just gonna make a little knot here. No like rhyme or reason to the knot, just like any little knot. And then I'm gonna cut off these ends so you can't really see it. And when it's looped in, you won't even be able to tell. So now I'm just gonna continue with my loop. And look at that, it's like totally hidden. You can't even see it where we tied on. So now I'm just gonna keep going through all my loops like we've been doing. And that's how you tie on. So I'm gonna continue making this blanket, and I will show you the after results, and I'm really excited. Okay, so now I'm pretty much done with the blanket. Now we're gonna wanna, I have a little bit of left of this, but that's okay if you decide that you wanna make it smaller. So now we basically have to tie the end of this off so it's going to stay and basically close off our stitch. And so it's really easy. So how you're gonna do that is just grab 2 of the loops, and then with your rest of your skein, the rest of your ball, you're gonna just take 2 loops here, and then you're gonna pull a loop through. So now you have that. So now I'm gonna take 2 loops here and pull a loop through. So see, it's kind of closing off the edge. So now we've got 2 loops, and I'm gonna just take our ball and push it through. So now do it again, 2 loops, push it through. 2 loops, push it through. Got 2 loops, push it through. And so see, it's like kind of closing off the edge here, and like finishing it off. So it's gonna just like have a nice clean edge for your blanket. So I'm gonna just continue on doing that for now. Okay, so now we're at our very last, so we've like tied off all the rest of our edges here, and I'm at my last loop. So I've grabbed 2 loops, and again, we're gonna pull it through like we've done it before. And then I'm gonna cut the end of my tail here, and you can cut it really at any size. And I'm just going to tie this in. So you can literally either just cut it or like weave it back into your blanket. You can literally do this however you want. Again, you can cut it shorter. And there we go. So that's all clean and finished edge there. And that's pretty much it. So this is just to kind of give you a general idea as to how big our blanket is. It's kind of will be good for like a lap blanket, cozy up on the bed. I used 4 skeins of the yarn, the big yarn. Okay guys, so we finished up our blanket, and I think it looks so good. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to snuggle up with Rosie with this. It's super plush, and it was such a fun project to make. It's so easy to do, very inexpensive and budget friendly. Each skein of yarn was only $10, and I used 5 of the skeins, more like 4.5 because I have a little bit extra left over, but it looked so good, and I hope that you guys really enjoyed this DIY. I made these at Christmas and I had so many of my friends ask me how I did this, so I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with at home. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel to see more fun DIYs, and stay tuned to see more.